Hallmarls and Hallmarkies. Welcome to the Deliver Me a Podcast, an offshoot of Hallmarkies podcast. I am your host today, Cammie Clements, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Jess.
Hello, everybody.
We're missing Kaycee today. She's at a family thing, so we love you, Kaycee. But we have Mrs. Caitlin Castelluci herself, Miss Brooke Nevin. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Cammie. Hi, Jess. I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to have you. You're looking well. You doing all right?
I'm doing well,
quarantine?
Yeah. Yes. I was really excited when you said there was an option where I could see your faces because I'm like, wait, I get to see some people.
Human interaction.
I was just going to say that. Human interaction.
One for the win today. So yeah, I mean, we have been in quite the little bubble, and you know, it's sort of getting used to a weird new norm, and but yeah, thank goodness for Zoom and for technology.
Amen. There's only so much conversation I can take with 9 and under. Jess will tell you. I'll call her and say, Jess, I need adult conversation, please. So have you been doing anything particular to keep you busy? Have there been any specific activities that you've done?
It's been so funny because, I mean, as a mom of, you have 4 children?
4 children, yeah.
Yeah, as a mom of 4, you're like, oh, I need some adult interaction. But I've actually been getting in touch with my inner child because, you know, a lot of my closest friends have little kiddos. And I realized that, you know, a lot of this time has been like just imagination and fun child's play. Like the other day, I had my friend's little less than 2-month-old baby, and we were in his older brother's room, and you know, we were having a staff meeting with Captain America and Iron Man, and you know, pressing the magical button that was changing our costumes for whatever, you know, mass crusade or caper that we had to, you know, plan for next. So that's part of it. I've also been studying Daniel Tiger because apparently I am my friend's 3-year-old's. She thinks that I'm Daniel Tiger.
Maybe it's the outfit you have on. It kind of looks like
on the phone. So this is one example where Zoom does not work. So my friend's little girl calls me, and I'm Daniel Tiger. So we have conversations. So I've had to watch enough of the show so that I knew who all the characters were, because God forbid she asked me something about Margaret, and I'm like, who's Margaret? And she's like, that's your sister, silly, you know. So we've been having random phone calls, you know, every other day, and you know, she'll tell me about, you know, what a 3-year-old gets up to, like building a block tower or making pizza, you know, whatever exciting thing is happening that day. And,
absolutely.
And we're pen pals, so you know. And then I've also been, I have another friend up in Canada who has 3 little kiddos, and we've been creating a book together. So we'll FaceTime, and they'll tell me what's going on in their book. And then based on each, you know, part of their story, I will draw a page for them that they'll get to like write out their story and color in the picture. So my quarantine has been strangely like extremely kid focused, but I think it's because I don't have kids yet. So it's and spurts, and so I've been on anti-duty, and it's made me pretty happy, actually.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I love that.
Okay, one thing for Daniel Tiger conversations, very important.
Yes.
Grown-ups come back. I don't know.
See, I need to know all the songs. I you know, I know the potty song very well.
There you go.
Because because when my friend was she had her little baby a month and a half ago, and so because of quarantine, her and her husband, you know, went to the hospital, but he couldn't leave. Like if he was in, that's it. Like he had to stay in the hospital until they had their little baby. So we had their 4-year-old, and so my boyfriend and I, we had like our crash course in being parents, which was fun and delightful. There were a lot of pillow forts and a lot of Pixar, which I have to say, thank goodness for Pixar.
Yeah.
And Talk about great movies, though. I'm like watching it. I'm like, we're watching the Word, and I'm just like, oh my god, that brotherly bond is just. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, we watched it, you know, and he was learning how to, you know, get do the potty. So I had to learn the potty song.
There you go.
Very important.
Very, very important.
Milestones in life. So, but yes, I will have to. Grown-ups come back.
Grown-ups come back. That's one that my kids really like, because if I'm leaving to go somewhere, Mommy, I'm gonna miss you. I'm like, grown-ups come back. I'll be right back. So it's good for dropping off at school and stuff like that when that happens. You know?
It's a good idea of, like I said, through music, through song. You know, it's such a wonderful way to learn lessons and to
it is
to normalize or have like a comforting repeating refrain that we remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you if you've been binging any shows, but apparently you've been binging Daniel Tiger.
You might be the first one who said that.
I mean, I started Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I blasted through The Mandalorian.
Oh.
Yeah, which is new for me because I didn't actually really grow up with Star Wars. Yes, this is right. So when I was like, I mean, I don't know if I like it, and then I started watching it, and then like the score came on, and like boom, 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 and I was just like, oh, I'm in. I'm so in. So you know, binge that, and then I binged through all of the making of episodes that are just fascinating. And then later on today, I might be on a Zoom conference talking to one of the tech advisors that did all of the miniature work and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
This is going to be really cool. So I'm all about like learning all like the volume. It's worth like binging through all the making of, because the video game engine that they use to create the worlds behind them, and then something they use called pre-visual previs to pretty much block out every episode with the directors before they even got to the set, is just fascinating to me. And I'm starting, I just directed my first movie in November last year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's exciting.
So seeing things now through the lens of creation and just all of the things that go into, you know, planning the visual aspects of storytelling now it's just so fun to jump into. So that's
totally
my nerd alert.
So I was raised on Star Wars.
Okay.
I was watching the original trilogy before I knew what was happening. So, you know, when Empire Strikes Back ends and will they or won't they find Han? I was like, yeah, they do. You know?
Yeah.
I don't remember watching any of them for the first time. And so Jess knows what a Star Wars nerd I am.
So I have a lot of catching up to do. So this is what I want to, do you suggest, should I go back? Because I've seen bits and pieces of Star Wars, but this is the thing. I felt like, you know, when everybody binge watched Breaking Bad, and I was so behind it, I was like, I don't know if I can start now, because I'd have to like really catch up. Like I'd have to, like, everybody's done talking about it, so I would have nobody to talk about it with. Of course, now I would be able to talk about anybody would talk to me about Star Wars. But do you suggest that I go back and watch the original 3, or should I watch it in chronological order?
Original 3 first.
Okay.
Original 3 first, definitely.
Yeah.
But so when I got on to get ready for your interview, I accidentally left Disney Plus up on my computer. And so I put on my headphones and I'm getting ready and I'm waiting for Jess to come on. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, Jess, not funny. Oh wait, that's not Jess. I had totally left Disney Plus up because we were watching Star Wars and I thought Jess was playing a prank.
That's a good idea for a prank, though.
That's so funny.
Okay. So yes, original 3, then go back and watch the prequels.
Okay.
And then go back and watch 7, 8, and 9.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Totally. Actually, you know what you should do? You should watch the original trilogy, then watch the prequels, then watch the original trilogy again, then watch
I've got my viewing schedule like keyed up.
You are good.
August. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So usually when we have actors come on, we like to know a little bit about how you got into acting. So would you share your story of what kind of got you into this field? And
Sure. I mean, I was one of those kids that always loved, musicals and dancing and singing. And so my grade school years were all, taking piano lessons and doing our musicals. I had sort of a strange false start in the biz when I was like 7 or 8, where I almost got an agent, and then they had me go and like crash a Rice Krispies commercial, and it just sort of like didn't work out. And then for some reason so my mom and I used to love watching beauty pageants. And so for some reason on my bucket list, it was to do a beauty pageant. So I did that. And then it led to like Barbizon modeling school, which I never actually graduated, guys. I mean, I think I can do a pretty good 3-point turn.
I think you're good.
But plucking my eyebrows kind of like scarred me for a little bit. It was very like, that was like a big deal. I was like, I came home like, Mom,
I can't imagine why.
And then I think, I was a really scholastic kid. So there was like strange modeling homework that you had to do. I'm like, I don't have time for my modeling homework. I've got to do my actual homework. So I never actually graduated. But that's fine. During this strange modeling school, there were a couple of on-camera classes, and I was like, oh, forget like wearing clothes. I want to be on camera and tell stories. And so I guess by the time I was about 13, I was begging my mom to get me an agent, because I was like, time is ticking.
Yeah.
Getting old. I'm gonna need to get my in. And so she helped me do that, and I got an agent when I was 13, and just started auditioning and learning and taking classes. And I think I got my first job when I was 13, and my first series when I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So at 15, I got my first movie also. I think maybe I was 14 at the time, and I was a huge fan of Reese Witherspoon. And I don't know if you ever saw this movie. She did a movie called A Far Off Place with Ethan Hawke.
I love that movie. So sad, so amazing. Yes, it is. It
So
is
when I was 14, I got to do a movie that I think it would have maybe aired on Lifetime, but it was a movie of the week with Gregory Harrison.
Oh,
awesome.
My dad. Well, I played his daughter. And it was a story of a widowed father with 2 kids, and he gets a job to be the helicopter pilot for a park in Zimbabwe. And so I got to go as a 14-year-old, travel to Africa and basically play my version of what Reese Witherspoon did in A Far Off Place. And we got to, play with animals and take these amazing helicopter rides over the African savannah. And we got to see Victoria Falls, and we got to like run from poachers. And my co-star was a baby elephant. It was a dream. So, there were a couple of things that happened to me early on in my career that was like, wait, I get to do this for the rest of my life. It hasn't all been that amazing, of course, but, some of these experiences in my career early on just were really magical and really set up the idea that to be able to tell stories and to travel the world and to meet people and expand our worldview is just so important and such an amazing way to live life. And then I came home and then learned how to morph into animals.
Animorphs.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And they just announced that the company Picture Start is going to do a live action version, a movie finally, which fans have been looking forward to for a long time. And in good hands. So
Are you going to make a cameo?
that is not up to me. I wish it were. I'd love to make a cameo. It was such a big part of my life as a teen. So yeah, I would love to.
Yeah,
I think they should. I think they should have you.
So you mentioned Reese Witherspoon. Is there anyone else who was like a big influence in the industry or that you really looked up to, especially, you know, starting out as a younger kid in the industry?
I mean, looking up, I mean, I know right now for sure, I mean, some of the performances and actresses that have, I love comedy as much as drama, and actresses like Emily Blunt and Rachel McAdams have done such an amazing job of going in between comedy and drama. So that amount of variety in acting roles and genres is amazing to me. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Julianne Moore, I loved. I remember being a young woman and watching Far From Heaven and just being like completely captivated by that movie. Yeah, I mean, Shawshank Redemption was a favorite movie of mine, even though, you know, I was a young, you know, 20-year-old. Yeah, there's so many movies. I mean, yeah, I talk a lot about Chicago, and there's just there's so many movies that have, you know, been amazing teachers in terms of genre and stories. So many. It's hard to like get them out of the other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned musicals.
Yes.
And in this podcast team, Jess is a big musical junkie. I mean, no, I'm the musical junkie. So what were some of the musicals that you've been a part of? What's your favorite musical? What's your favorite song that you would love to perform one day?
Oh, that's a good question. So yeah, I mean, musicals growing up, that was my entryway into performing. I never got to do it in a level that is like semi-professional, but I mean, in high school and in grade school, musicals, I mean, I was all about that. And we had an amazing program at school where we got to see musicals at a young age. So in fourth grade, I got to see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And then I would play that music on repeat. I knew the words to every single song. I think I memorized all of like the dialogue in between. I mean, I knew it frontwards and backwards. And then
close my eyes.
Wait. Well, I guess I don't know the song so well anymore.
Drew back the curtain
to see for certain what I knew.
I had to do it. Just once. Had to get her going sing it.
Oh my God. So we had our choir, our school choir got to audition as one of the choral groups on the sides at the musical, and we got to the finals, and we were so pumped, and we were all wearing our you know, colored shirts, and we didn't make it, but it did put the bug in me. And then the next year we saw Phantom of the Opera, and another one that I love, oh my gosh, one second. I thought that each important thing was a token of my esteem. Gosh, what is that one? Luck be a lady tonight.
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls. So we did Guys and Dolls in high school. Sorry, my brain's a little.
Oh, wow. I was in Guys and Dolls in college.
There you go. I was one of the hot box dolls.
Oh, I was one of the mission. I was one of the mission crew. So I had a little instrument or something.
I could never do that role because that voice is such a high soprano. There's no way
to do the lead, yeah.
Yeah. But gosh. If I could, I mean there's so many. If I Were Belle, that's such a fun song. It's such a beautiful, falling in love song. See, this is the thing. I love musicals, but I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of them. That's where my guy comes in, because he can make a song. He has a memory for lyrics that just blows my mind. He at any random, we'll be making dinner and he'll just start singing. Emerson.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Can you just take a sample of that and mail it to me so I can inject it into my husband?
Audio file.
Can we just inject this into you, honey? Put it in your memory.
But I mean, that was sort of my way into performing was, I think in 6th grade we did this amazing, it was like a compendium of all sorts of different musical genres. Then we did Pirates of Penzance another year. And then we had so many girls, of course, that wanted to be in the musical. I think instead of 11 daughters, there were 18. Yeah. And what else did I love?
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, oh my goodness. Les Mis, of course, and Evita.
Of course.
Yeah. I think Evita was when I was a young teen going into, there was something about that exuberance of getting to a new city and that song where she sings, "Watch out, Buenos Aires." You want to know what you're going to get from me? Just a little bit of star quality. There's something about that was that's my song.
I think you could totally pass for Evita. Do the right kind of hairstyle, you could totally pass for Evita.
I mean, I might, leave that to somebody who actually is from South America, but
okay, point taken. But
I mean, that Madonna, I mean, she's got Italian in her, but but I thought she did an amazing job in the movie version.
That was a long time ago. I remember going and seeing that. Yeah.
In the theater. Me too.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So unfortunately, we got to switch gears, but we're switching them to Hallmark.
Okay.
So let's talk about some of your Hallmark projects.
Yes.
So now we had one question. Come Dance at My Wedding with John Schneider.
Yeah.
Was that a Hallmark?
Yes, it was always a Hallmark movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't sure if it was an acquisition or not.
No, I'm pretty sure it was always supposed to be Hallmark.
Because that was your first Hallmark job, wasn't it?
One. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that I saw it long time ago when it first aired. I saw it. I said, "Oh, this is such a sweet movie."
It was so fun, and I had to learn a couple of dances to I had to learn a little bit of cha-cha, and then we had an instructor that taught us the waltz. Oh my goodness, I've never been that sore having
keep your posture up.
Oh my goodness, the carriage that you have to keep and the tilt of the head and the woman that we had teaching us was a champion ballroom dancer, and I just remember watching her oh, God, I wish I could move like that. Amazing. But I've continued loving partner dance, and I dabble in it now and again. I love salsa and bachata, and I had started to learn before COVID. Well, actually last fall, and then I was directing, and that just took up my whole world. But I had started to learn some cha-cha, but ballroom cha-cha, it's really hard, guys.
Yeah,
it's really hard. I was I know cha-cha, 1, 2. No, it's very challenging. But I have the videos. I've I've got to make my cha-cha teacher Batahan proud by getting back into it maybe one day.
Now, I took a social dance class, and cha-cha was not just swaying the hips and going 1, 2, cha-cha-cha.
I know, it's so much more than that. It's its own language. I mean,
it is.
Yeah. But I love all the partner dances. I love two-stepping. I went to Austin to do a pilot once, and I went to the Broken Spoke and all of these amazing partner dancing dance halls. So that to me is fun. I think what I love about it is, you go out salsa dancing or bachata or two-stepping, and people really are just there to dance. And it's such a beautiful, like, you stand there and you see somebody and you're like, hey, would you like to dance? And then you do, and you get to, there's something kind of just pure and lovely about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Hallmarkies, it's Kaycee, and I just wanted to share a quick word from today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door with HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking fun, easy, and affordable. HelloFresh's recipes are so delicious. They offer so many recipes to choose from each week to help you break out of your recipe rut. There is something for everyone, including low-calorie, vegetarian, family-friendly recipes, and more. My kids have loved every single HelloFresh meal we've had, and we've had variations of burgers and pastas and flatbreads, and they tend to gobble it right up. And that's great news for me because that means no one's fighting me at the dinner table. HelloFresh also saves so much time and stress because HelloFresh offers contactless delivery right to your doorstep for easy home cooking with the family. Everything is planned out and pre-measured, which saves me so much time and energy. And because HelloFresh sends pre-portioned ingredients, that means there's less prep for you and less food waste, which helps you eat more sustainably. HelloFresh is also committed to giving back. And that's one thing I just love about HelloFresh, America's #1 meal service. They are committed to making fresh, delicious food available now more than ever, and they have taken extra steps to keep employees and customers safe. I love that HelloFresh donated over 2.5 million meals to charity in 2019, and this year they are committed to stepping that up and giving even more amid the recent pandemic. I am so excited to share that HelloFresh is giving you $80 off today if you use our code. So go to HelloFresh.com/80Hallmarkies and use code 80Hallmarkies to get a total of $80 off, including free shipping on your first box. Additional restrictions apply, but please visit HelloFresh.com for more details. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/80Hallmarkies and use code 80Hallmarkies to get a total of $80 off, including free shipping on your first box. Additional restrictions apply, of course, but please visit HelloFresh.com for more details. I am so excited to see what you guys get with your HelloFresh. Let us know at Hallmarkies Podcast on Instagram and at Hallmarkies Pod on Twitter. Now back to our show.
And then you've had quite the Christmas run.
Yeah, lots of Christmas.
Holy moly. I mean, we got the Christmas Cure, the 12th Day of Christmas, Jingle Around the Clock. I have to tell you, out of those three, that's on the 12th Day of Christmas is my personal favorite. I just, you and Robin, I was in tears or the entire movie.
When I got that script, I was telling my boyfriend, like, babe, this movie's made for me because I'm really quite crafty. I have my own little craft, drawer of all sorts of things. And so
did you get to help make any of the props?
No, I didn't. I mean, that would have been right up my alley, but the people that did it, I was like, I couldn't have done this better myself. I was like, yeah, this is so beautiful.
Oh yeah, they were gorgeous.
No, they were gorgeous, and that, that sort of thing is so important to me. So when I saw it, I was like, oh. But just reading it and the fact that that's how she, you know, expresses her love and her wish to open up the magic of Christmas again. It was just such a beautiful way to do that. And the fun little sayings and the poetry. It was really charming. I loved it.
Oh, yeah. And one thing that I really loved is the chemistry was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy flowing between the two of you, and just you playing the 19-year-old shy girl, and then what do I do with this? Okay, I'll roll with it, but then where is he? You know, it's just I thought that the chemistry between the two of you was so easygoing and so natural. It
and Robin's such an easy guy to be around. He's got a great sense of humor. He does not take himself too seriously at all.
That's nice.
He recently he had a birthday party, and it was a crazy wig birthday party. So you just had to come in a ridiculous wig, and it was like, I am so there. So, you know, and I think that easiness and that sense of humor translates too. It makes it easy to, you know, share a screen with someone like that. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm newer to Hallmark, so I haven't seen many of the Christmas movies besides the ones last year. But for anyone listening, I believe both Jingle Around the Clock and On the 12th Day of Christmas are re-airing as part of Christmas in July. So if you're like me and haven't seen them, set your DVRs because they're coming back. But yeah, so speaking of all these Hallmark projects, do you have a favorite of the Hallmark movies that you've done?
Oh, do I have a favorite? You know, it's funny. A lot of, what I love, about Signed, Sealed, Delivered, sometimes I have like lovely memories attached to that as well. So Signed, Sealed, Delivered happened. We were filming it during my 10-year kiss anniversary with my boyfriend. And so while we were filming, this was very sweet. Kevin McGarry helped me find a trumpet player. And I had them stationed at a street corner in Gastown when I was taking my boyfriend to a restaurant for dinner that night. And they played a Kiss to Build a Dream On. And so it was just like, it just felt like so in the vein of like Signed, Sealed, Delivered too. Like, yeah. So I have like, sometimes I have like, personal memories that are attached to these lovely experiences.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The people that I've gotten to work with, I loved working with Patrick Dempsey for The Christmas Cure. And Jingle Around the Clock was really special to me because it was based on a story that I sold to Hallmark. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was also wearing the hat of his executive producer and got to have a hand in shaping story, which was honestly one of the experiences that has led me to feeling confident to start directing. So that to me was huge. So that was very special. And I think sometimes, you know, when you go from a seed of an idea and then you're on set and you're playing the character and you realize like, oh my gosh, this started with an idea. And then you see that everyone's there. I think the amount of gratitude that was just like, I was just swelling with gratitude and appreciation of every single person's contribution, from, you know, hair and wardrobe to the other actors, to the people that were shoveling snow to make it look like it was, you know, Christmas in the middle of October in Vancouver. It's just, you know, you really understand at that point everything that needs to go into making that magic happen on screen, because it's such a group collaborative effort.
I don't think she's got a favorite, Jess.
It's hard to pick, especially with Hallmark, and you got the Christmas ones are so magical.
Yeah.
And
I'd really love to do like a romance movie that's not Christmas.
Oh, do you have one of the seasons of Hallmark that you would really like to do?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Well,
fall or
you heard it here, everybody.
It's time. We need a spring fling.
There we go. We'll start pitching that.
There you go. We'll start pitching it. Well, do you have any upcoming projects so far that you can talk about? I know that things are still kind of getting going.
Strange right now, but I have been working with 2 other writers to develop some projects for Hallmark. So we're hoping that Hallmark will like these ideas, and obviously if that's a go, then you guys would be the first I could let know. But so those things are in development with a hope that they could turn into something. And then I'm planning on directing again. So that's in the works, but a little bit on pause right now, just in this moment that we're in. It was a very different experience because it's a lifetime thriller. So the other opposite end.
Right.
But very fun to direct. And I would love to direct a Hallmark movie at some point too. So that's sort of on the bucket list and things that I would love to do in the near future. I have a show. I'm in a show that's currently airing called Council of Dads on NBC, and it's a family show.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. The finale episode premieres next week, and then that's it. We just found out that it's just a 1-season offering, but it is it's a very touching story of a family coming together and dealing with losing the dad of the family, and collecting 3 other men in their lives that form this council of dads, so that they show up for the children in this the Perry family. And I play one of the dad's daughters, so not in the Perry family, not the main family, but there's a really special storyline between myself and an actor, Michael O'Neill, and who plays Larry on the show. And that was just a really special experience for me.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go with what the Postables want to hear.
Let's do it.
Time for Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Time for Signed, Sealed, Delivered, people. So now this was only your second Hallmark job. So, and there were several years in between. So it was almost kind of like your first, because it got you going into the stint of Hallmark.
Yes, it did.
So tell us about that.
Well, I mean, it was like any other job where you audition for it. This one was special or different in that I literally got the call to come in and audition the same day. So I think I got a call from my agent at like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And they're like, okay, here are the sides, come in at 3. And I went in to read with casting, and actually the director, Kevin, I guess it was FaceTime, or it was a video audition. So I auditioned with them because they needed to see everybody quickly. And by that weekend, then I was flying up to Vancouver to come shoot. So it happened really, really quickly. I think, I auditioned on like a Thursday or Friday, and by that weekend I was up in Vancouver.
Wow.
So that was a bit of a whirlwind, but there's something so special about Martha's writing. I mean, what they do with Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and the tone is so specific, and she does such an amazing job of adding nuance and sensitivity to these storylines. And I think it's just a beautiful reminder that everyone is dealing with a private struggle, and to have that compassion. Just the storyline between Caitlin and her husband was so moving. And it was interesting. I was younger when I did that. It's as somebody who's a little bit older now and thinking of starting a family of our own, it was a big topic to consider.
Yeah. In
my earlier 30s. Like the infertility is such a sensitive, deep subject, and the fact that they were able to touch upon that in such a beautiful way, and the reverberations of what that pain or tragedy can mean, and then the hopefulness of getting closer together as a couple and working through that. And it's just really lovely done. Like the writing is so lovely.
Yeah, that's something we talk about a lot with Martha, is just how she's able to so delicately handle those sensitive topics in a way that's meaningful to people.
Well, I think it's because she treats her audiences as sophisticated viewers, right? You know, and there's such a beautiful element of like of whimsy and comedy, and we get to see the characters and really like have the moments of these sort of private thoughts of theirs that we feel like we're on each one of their journey. Like you feel like you're on Shane's journey, and Oliver, and Norman, and Rita, and it's just so like I feel connected to every single character when I watch them.
Yeah,
we call her the Weaver.
I love that.
The way she weaves the storylines together to mesh so perfectly. Yeah. So have you ever done any stand-up in real life, or was that kind of a one-time thing?
Doing this movie was just proof to me that there is a reason I will never make any money touring as a stand-up. I mean, I would say out of any, that I was so nervous about it. The only good thing was like, Brooke, okay, yes, you're going to be on stage trying to be funny, but just remember that, all of the people in the audience are paid to be there and they have to laugh. They have to laugh.
But it's all scripted for you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It wasn't originally all scripted, because when I got there, it was like the night before I was supposed to go up and do my comedy routine. I'm like, oh, I guess it's going to be a montage and they're not really going to hear what I have to say. But I'm like, I better come up with something to say, because I don't want to be just like saying watermelon or whatever, So I called my boyfriend, who's the funny one in the relationship. We got to come up with some Italian family comedy. Like, I don't know what to, And then I think it was like at 7 p.m. or 7:30, the writers sent me, the joke about the pasta. And I was like, oh my God, something to memorize, and like, a pre-approved, set of comedy. I was just mortified. It was a really fun experience, but I'm not a
You'd rather be in the audience listening to the comedy.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to ask you about memorable moments from filming, but that's pretty memorable. Anything else that stands out? Bloopers, funny, fun stories of filming, anything like that? I know it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. No, I just remember too, Martha being on set, and she is, I think there's a reason why the movies work so well, is because there's such a singular vision, and she's just so clear about the direction that the stories need to take. And so there was something really refreshing, and like it felt like you're being taken care of as an actor, to have somebody who's there making sure that the stories are being told in a very specific and sensitive way. So that was amazing. And just the cast are so lovely. I had a chance to go out for dinner with Kristen and Crystal, and they're just really great people. I think it's such a gift in this business to do stories that are important, that are going to resonate with audiences in a wonderful way, and then to be able to work on it with people that are also big-hearted and just lovely people to be around.
Absolutely. Well, as I'm sure you're aware, we've got Kevin on When Calls the Heart now.
Yes.
And so I am betting, I'm a When Calls the Heart fan myself. It's funny when you were talking about getting caught up with Breaking Bad, because I found When Calls the Heart when season 3 was about to start.
Oh, wow.
And so I binged 1 and 2.
Yeah.
when I figured out I could. I didn't know I could. And so I told my husband, I'm not getting into that show. I can't because it's season 3 and I need to get caught up.
Yeah.
He said, here, it's on Netflix. I'm like,
Okay. All right, play.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. And now I'm the hooked Hardy. But I'm sure that all Hardys are burning with this question. What was it like to be married to Kevin McGarry? On screen, at least.
Well, like I said, he's also romantic at heart. And
Yeah.
so, you know, when I told him, I told him my plan of this Kissiversary scheming I was doing. And he's like, I think he was the one who maybe found, he had a friend, or maybe he found, like, he was at a coffee shop and saw that, like, a musician had posted or something like that. And he gave me the number and I was like, you're amazing. It was such a such a romantic. I love when people like help me scheme to do things.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's really easygoing too, and lovely and very good looking. I mean, it's not hard to act with him. Yeah.
It was funny because I was telling Jess that I had seen you in other projects before I watched Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Okay.
And so I saw you on the screen. I said, oh, it's that girl. She's so awesome. She's in this. I love it. And then I saw Kevin. I'm like, I've never seen him. Whoa, he's good looking. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, who is that guy? Whoa. So yeah, it was a really funny, and I loved how they had the first meeting fade away to the wedding. I thought that was so good.
Like, be able to meet cute and everything, and I just love the concept of going to do a food review at a restaurant and like just being sort of a miserable single 30-year-old and like and then your dreams. It was so like the setup was so lovely. I think they do a really amazing job of setting up the passage of time.
Yeah,
in the show.
Definitely.
In the movie To the Altar, that whole the storyline with the mom of the
she's
girl.
kept up with it.
I know.
But with the storyline with the girl who ends up becoming a children's book writer. But
yeah,
I mean, it was so beautiful, the retelling of it and how you dip in and out of these memories and experiences, and it really sets up the import of someone's lifetime, and so you feel like you understand what it means to these characters.
definitely.
And that performance was just like, I think her name's Janet Kidder, the actor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was just
she was awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, the passage of time is something that really, really, really is done very well in this show.
Yeah. Well, to finish up, we like to have a little levity at the end. Okay. So we've got some fun, fired off teen beat questions for you. So what is the best ice cream flavor as far as you're concerned?
Oh, mint chocolate chip. In a second.
I knew I liked this girl.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of vanillas lately, and it's like, all right, some variety here. All right, what is your favorite color?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm a big fan of like a sun-kissed glowy amber color.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You can. What music are you listening to at the moment? Like, not right this second, obviously.
Not this second. I'm very much into Dua Lipa right now.
Ah. Okay. Yeah.
She's my go-to workout ballad right now. And what else?
Musical soundtracks?
Yeah, musical soundtrack. I am in love with this band called the Black Pumas. They've got this sort of old school 70s funk vibe, and I am just all about them. So, Dua Lipa and the Black Pumas.
All right. Very nice. What is your go-to date night food?
Ooh. I mean, I'm going to have to say, actually, in a very Caitlin Castelluci way, Italian, honestly. Like,
hey, it works for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gluten-free, so it has to be a gluten-free version of all these things. But, pizza and pasta.
What is your go-to date night activity? Either at home or when people were going out? What was it?
I know, it feels so weird now. It's always day night.
Yeah.
Because we're together. That is a good question. I really here's the thing. My boyfriend and I spend a lot of time together. And that's even like pre-quarantine. So there's I kind of feel like a lot of the ways, I know this is going to sound maybe sappy or something, but I would say a lot of the time, the way we spend our days almost feel like date days. It's not just date nights. I love having.
We like sappy.
Yeah, I mean, just having coffee in the morning sometimes is our chance to, share things that we've been learning or discussing, and it's sort of like our check-in time, and I love that. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. But we also are very physically active and like to work out together, so we'll go on 5-mile runs and push each other, and I love that too, and it's there's a couple of things that we'll save for each other to watch on TV and watch together, like The Mandalorian. That's kind of strangely hard to say because I feel like we spend a lot of our days as like date days.
Yeah,
I think that's sweet.
Yeah. All right, dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs.
That's
cover my cat's ear in the background.
Growing up, and they were amazing. Kelly and Oliver were their names. No, Kelly and Oscar. That's right. They were 2 white cats. But we've been a dog family since I was little, and I have a really cute cutie pie pooch that I love. So, dog. It also doesn't help that my boyfriend and my sister are both now allergic to cats. So.
Oh, yeah. That's hard. They do shed a lot.
Yeah. Beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
All right. Fancy clothes or sweats?
That's a hard question. Because, I've been wearing a lot of not fancy clothes recently. So in this time of...
I know, that's a bad question for now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just going to say fancy clothes because it seems like a special...
Been forever.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I got dressed up. So I'm going to say fancy for now. You know what? Back to date night, we were talking about it. We're like, we should get dressed up. We should have our date night inside, but we're going to get dressed up. So I think that's something that we're going to do.
Yeah. Make it special.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Favorite holiday?
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. My birthday is December 22nd.
I know. I looked it up.
Yeah,
Christmas, baby.
Christmas has always it just is like a lot, everything magical and fun and special, and being around family is that time of year. That being said, I also love to dress up. So Halloween is also a high holy holiday. And often, it's not just one costume. It's like, what are a couple of costumes? Like I take it normally very seriously. So yeah, I love Halloween.
All right. And final question. I know it's hard to pick. Do you have a favorite Hallmark movie? It doesn't have to be something you've been in.
But it can be.
But yes, but it can be. But any of your favorite Hallmark movies?
I have to say one that I really loved recently is Love to the Rescue.
That's a fan favorite.
It's a huge fan favorite.
Yeah, I just love that movie. And the little animated short too. I mean, just the production. Their chemistry was so wonderful. So yeah, I'm gonna say that one.
I just
Love
recently
it.
did an interview with Nikki, and she had so many amazing things to say about that movie. So,
I would love to work with her. I've had you know, being actresses in Hollywood, we've had a couple of, you know, it's so great to meet other actresses and auditions, and then so I've just sort of peripherally known her, but I've also, of course, followed her work, and I think she's just a wonderful human being. And I know that she brings a lot of light and humor and positivity to set, and I would just love to work with her.
Yep, you're not alone. Oh, Brooke, thank you so much for coming on.
Week, and it was so nice to see your faces, holes and space. So now we just have to figure out a Hallmark musical love story set in space.
Absolutely.
There we go. Let's Cammie, pitch it.
I'm trying to pitch another one right now, but I will start working on that one. All right. So do you have any social media that you'd like to share?
Sure. I can be found on Insta at The Real Brooke Nevin, and I'm at Brooke Nevin on Twitter. That's right. And on Instagram, I'm at The Real Brooke Nevin.
And Jess, where can people find you?
You can find me at Jess BSW Blog on Instagram and Twitter, or check out my website, beneathstillwaters.com.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cammie Drama Girl, on Facebook, the Hooked Hardy Facebook page, and my blog is hookedhardy.com. And you can also find the podcast all over social media. You can follow Deliver Me a Podcast at Deliver Me a Pod or Deliver Me a Podcast. You can also follow the Hallmarkies Pod at Hallmarkies Pod or Hallmarkies Podcast. Don't forget to check out our merch store. It's got lots of great stuff. I think we need to add a t-shirt, Jess. We need to say, love me like Joey loves Caitlin. Absolutely.
There we go.
So everybody stay safe, stay well, stay happy. We love you all. We're thinking about you, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, buddy.